The Great Data Escape, an introduction to exfiltration. Picture this, a vast digital landscape teeming with information. We're talking financial records, personal data, trade secrets, the works. Now imagine this data, like a river, flowing out of its secure confines, siphoned away by unseen forces. That, my friends, is data exfiltration. It's the unauthorized transfer of sensitive information from a computer system, and it's a growing threat in our increasingly interconnected world. Think of it like a heist, but instead of jewels and cash, the prize is data, the lifeblood of the digital age. And just like any good heist, data exfiltration requires careful planning, stealth, and a touch of ingenuity. The perpetrators, often motivated by financial gain or espionage, employ a variety of techniques to bypass security measures and make off with their digital loot. But why is this such a big deal? Because in the wrong hands, this pilfered information can be weaponized to devastating effect. Imagine your identity stolen, your bank account drained, or your company's sensitive data held hostage. The consequences can be catastrophic. So, buckle up as we journey into the shadowy world of data exfiltration, exploring the methods, motivations, and countermeasures in this high-stakes game of digital cat and mouse. Get ready to expand your understanding of the universe, one data breach at a time. Automation Nation. When machines steal your secrets. In the early days of data theft, it was a hands-on affair. Hackers would manually sift through files, searching for valuable information to steal. But times have changed. Enter the age of automation, where malicious software does the dirty work, quietly siphoning data without raising any alarms. Imagine a rogue script, programmed to scan your computer for specific keywords, like credit card or password. Once found, it bundles this sensitive information and sends it to a remote server controlled by the attacker. This process, known as automated exfiltration, can happen right under your nose, silently stealing your secrets while you browse the web or check your email. The beauty of automation, at least from the attacker's perspective, is its efficiency. They can target multiple victims simultaneously, casting a wide net and maximizing their potential haul. It's like having an army of digital ants, each carrying a tiny piece of data, slowly but surely draining the lifeblood from your digital fortress. But don't despair just yet. While automation has made data exfiltration more efficient, it's not foolproof. By understanding the tactics employed by these digital thieves, we can build stronger defenses and protect our valuable data from falling into the wrong hands. Size matters sneaking past data transfer limits. Data exfiltration is a lot like smuggling contraband across a border. You need to find ways to move large amounts of valuable goods without attracting unwanted attention. One way attackers do this is by breaking down large data files into smaller, less conspicuous chunks. Think of it like this. You wouldn't try to smuggle a whole elephant across the border in one go, would you? Too risky. Instead, you might break it down into smaller, more manageable pieces. Tusks here, a trunk there, and sneak them across bit by bit. The same principle applies to data exfiltration. Attackers often use techniques like data compression and fragmentation to shrink large files into smaller packets, making them harder to detect as they slip through network security checkpoints. It's like hiding in plain sight, disguising stolen data as legitimate network traffic. Of course, security researchers are wise to these tricks. Intrusion detection systems are designed to spot unusual data transfer patterns, like a sudden surge in outgoing traffic or repeated small file transfers to suspicious IP addresses. It's a constant game of cat and mouse, with attackers constantly evolving their techniques to stay one step ahead. The protocol switch, hiding in plain sight. We communicate with computers using protocols, a set of rules that dictate how data is exchanged. You've probably heard of some of them: HTTP, HTTPS, FTP. Think of them like different languages we use to talk to our machines. Attackers exploit these protocols to disguise their malicious activities, hiding their tracks amidst the constant chatter of legitimate data transfers. One common tactic is protocol tunneling, where they encapsulate stolen data within the payload of a seemingly harmless protocol, like DNS or ICMP. Imagine stuffing a secret message inside a fortune cookie. To the casual observer, it's just a cookie. But to the intended recipient, it contains a hidden message. That's protocol tunneling in a nutshell. The data is hidden in plain sight, masked by the familiar language of a trusted protocol. This technique makes it incredibly difficult to detect malicious activity without deep packet inspection, which involves analyzing the contents of individual data packets. It's a time-consuming and resource-intensive process, making it impractical for many organizations to implement on a large scale. And that's exactly what attackers are banking on. Pause 3s. The hidden depths of data exploitation. As we venture deeper into the realm of cyber threats, we encounter more sophisticated techniques that leverage cutting-edge technology to extract and exploit data. First, let's talk about ML model extraction. Machine learning models, the backbone of many AI systems, can be reverse engineered by attackers. This process allows them to recreate the model and access its intellectual property, undermining the security and competitive advantage of the original creators. Next, we have data membership inference. This technique enables attackers to determine whether specific data points were used in the training set of a machine learning model. It's a subtle but powerful way to compromise privacy, as it can reveal sensitive information about individuals. Model inversion is another advanced threat. Here, attackers use the outputs of a machine learning model to infer input data, essentially reversing the model's process. This can lead to the exposure of confidential data that the model was trained on, posing significant privacy risks. Large language models, or LLMs, are not immune to these threats. LLM data leakage occurs when sensitive information inadvertently gets embedded in the model during training. This can be extracted by malicious actors, leading to potential data breaches. Finally, let's explore LLM meta-prompt extraction. This technique involves retrieving the underlying prompts that guide LLM behavior. Understanding these prompts can provide insight into the model's decision-making process, but in the wrong hands, it can be used to manipulate the model for malicious purposes. These advanced techniques highlight the ever-evolving landscape of cyber threats. As our technology becomes more sophisticated, so too do the methods used by attackers. Staying ahead of these threats requires constant vigilance and innovation in our defensive strategies.